Greetings, friends, and welcome to Restorative Yoga Rest and Digest. My name is Sylvie, and I'm here to present you with this practice that is going to help us to go from a state of doing to more of a state of restorative being. So to start with, I want to review the props that we need. So we're going to use props to create a shape for our body to really rest into. So we're going to go over the props. So here we have a few yoga blankets. I have 3 here. So if you have yoga blankets, great. If you don't have yoga blankets, you can use large bath towels and fold them up similarly. The other thing that is helpful is to have either a yoga bolster, or you could also use like a sofa pillow instead of a bolster. And then a chair for our very last pose. So we're going to, the first thing to know about restorative yoga is that it's really not about stretching and doing and getting strong. It's more about creating an atmosphere where we can really move into our parasympathetic nervous systems and really get a nice calming effect that will help us sleep better and just deal with the everyday stresses of life. So we're going to start with a downward facing shavasana. You will need either your 2 blankets or a towel or a bolster. You can set it on your mat like so. And then you're just going to place yourself so that your pubic bone lands right on the edge of your blanket, and drape your whole belly onto the blanket. And then bring your head to the floor. You want this so that this edge of the blanket does not close off your throat, so you're not feeling it on your throat. And then you just bring your arms out to the side, and you might play with high up or a little lower down so that you really feel your arms truly letting go. Widen your legs apart from each other. And then just really feel this and see how it feels. You need to be 100% comfortable, although it may be a little different to be lying on your stomach. That's not a common thing. And then from there, you're just going to start this process of going inward. And you can start by feeling your props beneath you. Feel the shape of your blankets, the texture, the firmness or softness. And then allow yourselves to really feel your body draping over and onto your props. And take a couple breaths here. Just breathe into the front of your body, experiencing this shape. And beginning to take some nice long deep breaths. So breathe down deep into your belly. Feel your belly against your props. Notice the rise and the fall of your breath and the way your body follows this rise and fall. And invite your arms to be heavy and your shoulders to drape downward into gravity. Similarly, feel your legs on the floor and invite your legs to be heavy into gravity. And then from there, think about your brain pouring out of your neck onto the floor. Take a nice big breath in, open your mouth and let out a bit of a sigh. Maybe 2 or 3 more of those breaths, really inviting your whole expression on your face to release and your mouth to soften. With each breath, think about softening, releasing, and letting your body fall into gravity. Each breath is an opportunity to go deeper and deeper into a state of calmness, receptivity, and deep rest. Every so often, come back to the flow of your breath. Use your breath as the anchor to being present in this moment. Savor the breath and the sensations in your body above all else. As you breathe, you may experience waves of motion, of energy traveling through your body. Invite your awareness to travel along the waves. You may also experience a sense of fullness that comes maybe into your back, shoulder blades, back of your neck, back of the lungs, filling and emptying. in your own time, I invite you to come back to the sensation of the props beneath you, the floor, the mat. As you're ready, you're going to move your hands, your arms down along your torso so the palms of your hands are on the floor. And after a breath or two, you're just going to press your hands down into the floor and lift your torso off of your bolsters or blankets. And then take your hips back and just strengthen your arms here a little bit and really reach back with your sits bones, keeping them kind of high, reaching your arms and just creating some length along the side of your torso. And then you're going to rest your forehead. You may move your blankets a little bit forward. So just your forehead is on the edge of your blanket. You may widen your knees. You're coming into a child's pose here. Arms are still resting alongside of your blanket. Forehead is resting on your blanket, and you're just letting your pelvis, your hips be heavy, reaching your tail towards your heels a little bit. And then coming back to the breath way down deep in your belly as your belly rests against your thighs. And with the next inhale, you're going to allow yourself to kind of roll up a little bit. So you're rolling onto the top of your head. Maybe you get a stretch on your neck. Take another really big breath in. And then on the exhale, you're going to roll back onto your forehead, back into child's pose. Take a breath when you get back there and release. And then once again, on an inhale, just roll up, feel the top of your head, the back of your neck getting long. Take a breath there. And then again, you can just roll back into child's pose. And settle here for 2 more breaths, long and deep and steady. And then you're going to walk your hands back down your mat towards your knees and roll your spine up. Sitting upright for a moment, stacking your shoulders over your hips, keeping your eyes closed if that feels good, and receiving that practice. And now we're going to move into a side bending pose. So you're going to take your blankets, or whatever you're using, and turn them the other way. And you may choose to keep it exactly like this, kind of a flat, high stack, or you might open up your blanket and roll it into a roll instead of a flat stack. And from here, you're going to lie on your side, start on your left side, or sit. And then you're going to drape yourself over this roll so that the roll is right underneath your ribs. And then you're going to rest your head on your left arm. Adjust your legs just so that you find ease and comfort. And then you may bring your other arm overhead, and maybe both hands go overhead. Maybe you keep your left elbow bent, but bringing your right arm overhead. So you're kind of reaching for a moment to make a lot of space along your whole right side of your body. And always we start with the sense of this prop that is supporting us, that is there to really allow us to release into it for support. And in this pose, you breathe into the whole right side of your body and experience the lungs deep within your rib cage, filling, dense, full. And as your lungs fill, it's like the fanning of your ribs. The ribs spread apart, making room for the lungs. You may take your gaze, your eyes down towards your knees a little bit, lengthening the back of your neck for a moment. And with each exhale, soften a little bit more into the floor, into the prop. Now you're free to just stay here and enjoy this stretch along the right side or wherever you're experiencing it. Or you might start to do a little bit of a twisting action by taking your right hand and gliding it overhead and then behind you. And then arcing it back up and back again. And when you take it back, you might take your left arm straight out. So you're now coming into a twist with a big expansiveness from your heart out, your shoulders to your fingers. And maybe your twist is more like this. So really, whatever is best for your body. Feeling your legs heavy and grounded as your spine spirals out of your pelvis. Big, long, steady breath. Deep release into your props. And as you're ready, you're going to sweep that arm back overhead. Keep sweeping forward. And then you're going to roll up. And see if you can roll your head up at the very end. So your shoulders and your torso comes up first. And then you're going to pivot, right? So you just turn around. So that your right hip, now on your right hip, and then you're going to lie down, placing your roll or blanket underneath your ribs, not so much underneath your waist, but underneath your ribs, and creating a pillow with your right arm. And coming back to feeling the prop beneath you, the floor, the way your hips kind of descend and release out of the lift of the prop, the way your head descends and releases. And then you can take your left arm overhead if you'd like and stretch that left hand just a little bit so you're making a little bit more space along the whole length of your left body. And yes, come back to that sense of your ribs floating on the lungs. Feeling the density and mass and thickness of the lung tissue underneath your ribs, underneath your skin. Whenever you'd like, you can always take a big sigh to invite that sense of really letting go. Moving into a state of being versus doing. And then if you'd like, you can start to explore that twisting motion of taking your left arm now out to the side. Maybe they're small arcs. Maybe they're large. Maybe you take your arm all the way out, both arms out, or maybe one arm stays up. Either way, feel And look for a sense of lengthening of your spine, spiraling out of the heaviness of your hips and legs. One more big, even, smooth, lovely breath, riding the wave of the breath, the fullness of the breath. And then making your way back. Pausing if you'd like, or you can go right into rolling up. Again, lifting your shoulders, your waist, and lifting your head last. And coming up to sitting. Slowly. And once again, you're going to sit upright just for a moment. Feel your body stacking. Take a breath here. And now we're going to move into a pose that's called Mountain Brook. You're going to need 3 blankets. One will have a small roll for your neck. One will be very similar to what you just had underneath your ribs. And then the other, or it might be a bolster actually, that you use for your legs. So from here, you're going to drape yourself again. So the placement of this blanket is going to go right in the middle of your scapula, your shoulder blades. And you do this so that you can really drape your shoulders down and into the floor. So there's a lifting through your rib cage and a descending through your shoulders and arms. The blanket roll is going to come under your neck. It's really not a pillow. It's just meant to support the very base of your neck. So scrunch it down so it's right onto your shoulders. And your shoulders are in between the 2 blankets. And then you're just going to rest your legs on your bolster or other blanket. You might want to lengthen the back of your neck a little bit. Bring your chin towards your throat. And then coming back once again to the support beneath you. Take a breath here, see if your props are well adjusted. Please find complete comfort. Make any adjustments you need. And from here, take a nice big breath and let the breath ride from your front of your belly up the front of your body into this big flowering and expansiveness across your shoulders and chest. A few breaths like that, just following this wave from low down in your pelvis and legs, traveling up the front of your body, maybe out through your arms, as you breathe. Experience the exhale as well as the inhale. And when you exhale, let the belly hollow out, settle back. Next time you exhale, you let the belly hollow out and settle back. Pause for a moment at the very, very end of the breath, just for a moment. before you let the inhale come back in. Using the very end, the very downbeat of the breath to create a suspension, a sense of holding space and time, and watching as the breath rebounds back. Nice, full inhale. You are free to continue with this kumbhaka breath, the pause, or just let your breath find its natural rhythm without the pause. In Mountain Brook, we have the opportunity to experience a sense of spaciousness around your throat. An invitation to release your jaw, your tongue, your mouth, and all parts of your body that are involved in speech. Releasing words said, words unsaid. And just letting this part of your body be. Now coming back to your breath. I invite you to curl your fingers in towards your palm just a little bit. And then curl your fingers out of your palm, starting to straighten your fingers a little bit. And then curling again. And then opening. And this time maybe stretching your hands a little bit more and reaching your hands out of your shoulders. And maybe bringing a little bit of movement through your spine, just a little wave like through your hips and spine. Maybe reaching through your legs and your feet. Maybe turning your head like you're pouring your brain to one side. And then pouring back to the center and to the other side. And take a pause as you've poured your brain to that side. Breathing into the space along your neck. And then rolling your head back.
take your feet and bring them on top of your blanket or bolster that was underneath your knees. And then invite yourself to roll to the side. And take a moment, just roll onto the side in a fetal-like position. Taking a big breath again. And then roll a little bit more towards your belly and then use your hands. And again, lifting your head last. So lift your shoulders, your waist, and let your head come and stack onto your shoulders. So from here we're going to do our last pose. And you can do it either with a chair or you can stack your bolsters and blankets so that they're a nice high stack. Like so. And you would rest your legs on here and lie down for Shavasana. The other way is to use a chair, which I really like. So bring your chair forward. You might want to use your eye bag for this. And then lying down, if you're tall, you might want to bring a little bit of extra height on the seat of your chair if your legs are long. A folded blanket or two. If you're short, you might just use the chair. You're going to switch your hips close to the chair, and then you're going to bring your legs onto the chair. And you can use your hands on the chair legs to help adjust your chair. And what you want here is you want the edge of the blanket or the chair to be right in the back of your knees. So you can feel that on the back of your knees. And then I thread my feet in this chair behind the back of the chair. And then from there, you're going to just take your eye bag, drape it over your eyes. If you'd like, you can cover yourself with another blanket to make sure you're nice and warm. And then bring your arms out to the side so there's plenty of space in your armpit to breathe and feel the ribs fanning out to the side.